Hello, hello. I hope everybody's having a great day. Well, I'm on the roof for a change. I was up there this morning, got my final little braces up, and now I'm back on the ground. At least for a couple days. I gotta get some work done here. We got some nice weather coming, and I've got to anchor this building. I've never anchored it. I put the mud sills down with Tapcons. They're special screws that you pre-drill, and then they literally are like sheet metal screws that tap into concrete. Hard as all anything, but they work great. So I put the mud sill down with that just to hold it in place and thinking I'd go back later. Well, okay, it's later. Winter's coming, and if we get a roof on here and you get some uplift, it'll lift the building off, if I'm afraid. It's just not tied. There's some strong winds or anything, so I gotta get this done. Plus, the way I decided to do it, normally when you build a building, you put the anchor bolts down. Oh, don't mind me, I'm on my knees here. You put the anchor bolts down in the concrete. You literally just buy these bolts. They've got a little hook on the end. You put them in the concrete when it's wet, and you go, great, got it. I didn't do that because I wasn't sure where the walls were going. Well, I originally designed, so I wasn't going to have interior walls. I was going to have just posts and put them in later in that, but I didn't know if I'd put a block around the edge, so I just didn't put any in. So I do them later. It's later. The only way you can do them now, or the only two ways you could do them now, are to either use mechanical anchors, which you literally drill a hole, and there's several different styles. The typical one would be like a wedge anchor. When you pull the bolt up, or the thread rod up, it has a wedge on the bottom, just as it says, and it holds itself into the hole, wedges out. Couple problems. One, they're strong, but not as strong as I'd like. I've actually pulled a couple out. And number two, the bigger problem, they have an edge requirement. You can't go too close to the edge of the concrete, or you'll break out the edge of the concrete because you put a lot of stress on the concrete pushing on it. You drill a hole and it expands out, and as it's expanding out, that's what's really holding it when you pull up, the expanded wedge. And it will not allow, won't allow it to pull out, but because of that, it actually puts a lot of stress on the concrete. And there's minimum edge requirements. I am too close to the edge. And let me show you here. Let's see when you flip the camera. There you go. I am too close to the edge. I think the minimum requirement was 6 inches or 8 inches for the side bolt, and that's only 2x6, so it's only 5.5 inches from the edge. So I'm probably like 4 inches from the edge, really. Way too close. So that didn't work. So the other answer is what they call a chemical anchor, and there are dozens. And I spent a better part of a week trying to find out what kind I wanted, calling engineers and that, and checking back and forth for the pull-out strength. And I thought I had one that I used last time I really liked, and the company's even been bought out. It's been so long, and unfortunately, it has a temperature limitation of I forget what it was, in the 50s. Oh God, that's not going to work. We're already dropping our nights down cold, and I don't know how warm this pad really is. 45, 50 degrees the pad, maybe. I don't know. We're in the 40s today again. I think high 40s. So I was afraid to death we're too close to the limit. It might have a couple good days. The concrete itself holds the cold, so I'm not sure how warm it would get. A lot of issues there. Anyhow, so found another one. It will drop cold enough. So I got that in order. It came in today. Got a case of it. It's not cheap stuff. It's 20 some odd bucks a tube. A little bit cheaper when you buy it by the case. And it's a 2-part epoxy. And it's not epoxy. It's vinyl ester, I believe. That's the difference, because I used an epoxy last time. There's like several different things. They're all basically a 2-part glue. You mix them together, they harden, that's it. They're in for life. Okay, so now you gotta drill holes. So first I had to drill through the plate. It's a double plate. I didn't want to run my wood screw, or wood drill bit down into the concrete and destroy it. So I bought a wood drill bit and some collars and put the collars on. So I know those collars are 3 inches, and that's 3 inches of wood there. Only drill that deep. When it hits the collar, I stop. I then flip it to a concrete drill. Tip drill, which is that one, and I then start drilling with that one down, And then you have to clean the hole, and that's super, super, super important with these. If you just have dust in the hole, epoxy will stick wonderfully to the dust, but not to the hole. You want the epoxy to stick to the concrete itself. So, I did follow exactly the recommendations. I have a deep air gun here. There's the air gun, there's the hose on the bottom. So I go down the hole, and you gotta clean right to the bottom. And there, the dust wants to pack in the bottom. So you gotta go right to the bottom of it, feel the bottom of the hole, make sure you press it, clean it. And I get a dust cloud coming out. That's why I'm wearing the dust mask. And then you go in there with a mechanical brush. And I modified one. I got a brush and put it on a long extension, ground the extension so it fits in the hole. You go in and out of the hole several times to clean the inside of the hole with a mechanical brush. And then you go in, you blow it out again, and another dust cloud comes out. And then you think that you're probably clean. If I still suspect, I might go one more time with the brush just to make sure. But that's the pecking order. That's the way you go. That's the way it gets cleaned. And the rods, they won't be this long. I'm going to cut these in half. But then the rod drops down. Boom, to the bottom. You can actually hear it bottoming out. That rod will make 2 bolts. The bolt should be, code says, for a single-story building 4 feet, for a 2-story building every, or what do you call it, for a single-story building 6 feet, every 4 feet for a 2-story building. Well, although this is 1 story, it's a big, tall 1 story, so I put them every 4 feet just to be safe. So that's what we are doing. And these rods are galvanized rods. They're not just ordinary steel, some kind of electrocoating or anything on them. They are hot dip galvanized, so they will not corrode. The nuts and the washers and the lock washer that go on them are hot dip galvanized. There's a special torque you're supposed to put on these, so I'll do that. But for now, we are drilling holes, cleaning holes. Maybe, I got a lot of them to do. I don't know how far I'll get. It'll probably take me 2 days of just drilling, because there's probably 100 anchor bolts, I think. I calculated out in a hurry. And there's some deeper ones in the corners that I want. This special glue is limited by its depth. It only goes down, it does not develop any more strength after you go past 6 inches. Code is actually 7 for these bolts. That's fine, but I talked to the engineer and they said 6 is just the limit of hardness. You can go down 3 feet after that. It's not going to get any stronger, they said. So that's fine. But 7 is actually the code for how deep the hole's got to be. But these corner ones, I have to make deeper, not the hole in the concrete, but I actually have extra piece of wood there, 1.5 inches. So now I'm going through an extra 1.5 inches before I go down into the concrete. And I still need the hole in the concrete, same depth. So, but there's one there you can see. I made one here, one there, one there. And that's the next one. So, just time consuming, kind of a pain in the butt, but it's got to be. It's the right way to do things. I want the building to stay where it belongs. So, anyhow, just thought I'd show you guys what I'm up to. Hope everybody's having a great day. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.